The Solstice Summer event is in full swing, bringing with it a new way to farm high-stat armor, multi-perk event weapons like the new Void Bow, and a bunch of cosmetics and materials you can earn. This time around there are a lot of bugs, misinformation, and wasted farming tips. To fix that, let me explain everything and show you actual data on loot drops, silver leaves, and quests so you can make an informed decision on how to proceed. Follow the timestamps to skip to whatever section you need most. With that, let's get started. Solstice is a 3-week free-to-play event where players can play whatever they want or the special Bonfire Bash activity to get high-stat armor and event weapons. To get started, head to Ava Levante in the tower to grab your new Solstice Forge and the Celebrating Solstice quest. The event works differently this year, so make sure you read everything, follow the quest, and refer to Ava's vendor tooltip. Currently, there is a bug where a tooltip that refers to last year's Solstice and Kindling gets stuck on screen. The fix for this is either refreshing a bounty row or by progressing the intro quest until you have unlocked an armor piece. Having the new forge in your quest log will allow you to obtain silver leaves, which will appear in your consumables inventory and have a max stack of 999. The current Solstice event revolves around you interacting with the new Solstice Forge, which can be accessed anytime, anywhere in your quest log or at Ava, and it'll show your currency values. Here you will complete Forge bounties, objectives like creating Orbs of Power, getting elemental kills, or completing a Grandmaster Nightfall. The rarity of each bounty indicates its cost, difficulty to complete, and rewards. In the beginning, they'll reward Armor Alloy, which is necessary to unlock the armor for this year, and a Solstice Package, which is immediately opened upon bounty claim and reward either Glimmer, upgraded materials, or World Loot Pool gear. Once you unlock event armor in that bounty row, the loot from those bounties will change, now including a chance at high-stat armor and then double perk event weapons when you unlock the full armor set. Each bounty has their own objective, based on their rarity and icon. Uncommon white bounties require 150 points by getting elemental defeats. Anvil bounties gain 4 times progress on specific elemental ability kills. Hammer on elemental weapon kills. Rare green bounties are labeled Tempered, requiring 90 enemy defeats affected by subclass effects, or Flux, which requires 150 Orbs of Power generated, with 3 times progress if you are on the listed subclass or Prismatic. Legendary gold bounties require endgame activities, completing 2 raid encounters, 3 dungeon encounters, 1 GM Nightfall completion, 7 round wins and trials, or 300,000 cumulative score in Nightfalls. Since you can only purchase 1 bounty from each armor slot row at a time, you ideally want objectives that are easy to accomplish and are synergistic. So that's getting several of the Orb of Power related ones, multiple GM ones, or all using the same element like Void. If none of the available bounties have this synergistic nature, you can refresh them by spending 5 silver leaves. It's still random what bounties will appear, so don't necessarily bank on getting super specific objectives unless you have a lot of leaves to spend. More on this later when we talk about farming. To unlock the event's free armor set and glow, you'll need Armor Alloy of each type, which comes from those bounties to obtain the Forging and Ingot quest from the Forge. The alloy is armor piece specific, so to obtain the Gauntlet quest, you need to first complete and turn in Gauntlet Forge bounties and get 100 alloy. The higher the bounty rarity, the more alloy, with legendary bounties giving 50 per completion. If you are optimal, that is 3 gold bounties per armor slot, 15 bounties total to unlock the armor and their glows. Most players, it'll be more like 50 bounties if you're doing the green ones. Sounds like a lot, but if you play efficiently, it'll only take 1 to 2 hours. Once you have enough alloy, which you can check by hovering over your forge, claim the Forging and Ingot quest from the end of the row in your forge, complete a Bonfire Bash, and then claim the reward in the forge. Now, you'll get that armor piece to drop from Bonfire Bash, and when you complete forge bounties from that row, that'll have a varying chance to drop high-stat armor of that piece. Once you unlock all armor pieces, now you'll get double perk weapons from those forge bounties. To unlock the white glow, you'll need another 50 alloy so you can pick up the Incandescent quest in your forge. Then complete Bonfire Bash with at least 20 igniters deposited. Unlike last year, the armor is not unlocked account-wide, so you will need to complete all this again on multiple characters if you want their armor. If you don't like to grind on those characters, you can just farm alloys on your main character. However, you must decide and farm alloys before you unlock armor, as once you do, forge bounties will stop dropping alloy. Whatever alloy you do have left over before you unlock the armor will stay in your forge and carry over to other characters. Now, what is Bonfire Bash? Your goal in this 3-player match main activity is to throw igniters, little glowing orbs, into the bonfire at the top of the map. To do so, find special bosses called ignition carriers around the map. Just look for the waypoint that will appear every so often. Kill the spawning enemies and eventually the boss will appear. When you kill a carrier, they will drop 3 igniters. This is where the most important tip comes in. Travel as a group. Those igniters have a 10-second despawn timer. If they are dropped in a poor position, like the left or right side of the arena, it is highly unlikely one person could drop more than one into the bonfire. So please go as a group. You also get boosted super regen and recovery when near allies. Additionally, those igniters have some weird tracking and drop over time. If you are throwing them at great distances, you'll have to aim high above the bonfire. Otherwise, to guarantee the deposit, just get closer to the bonfire. After you have deposited 10 and 20 igniters, a Taken Interference event will spawn. Clear the blights and 2 mini-bosses to make the ignition carriers respawn and also get some heavy ammo. These events spawn high up, so use the Cabal cannons, platforms, and airlifts to get up there. After 8 minutes have passed, or 30 deposits, the final boss will show up. No pressure, just shoot them until they're dead. Then you can head to the giant bonfire and get your rewards. What you get is based on 3 things: igniters deposited, armor quests, and a little RNG. If you haven't unlocked any piece of armor on that character, you'll only get Solstice weapon drops. Once you do unlock armor, that armor piece will be added as a reward. There is some misinformation floating around that unlocking armor muddies your loot pool and makes it so you are less likely to get weapons. This isn't true. Weapons and armor are 2 different drop occurrences. No armor unlocked will get you 3 to 6 event weapons only. Unlock armor, now you'll get 5 to 12 engrams. Half will be weapons, half will be armor. So, go unlock armor, especially since they unlock avenues to get double perk weapons and high stat armor. More on that in a minute. To make sure to get max loot, deposit as many igniters as a team. Max deposit is 30, but anything above 20 should suffice. Do note there is currently a loot bug going around where some players are getting less loot than others. I haven't done testing myself, but players say this affects hunters or those that didn't participate in last year's event. Check the pinned comments for updates. Alright, now what are the best farms and strategies? In an attempt to show you that those buzzword best silver leaf farm posts are a bit hyperbolic and potentially counterproductive, I'm going to start with the forge bounties first. For all of them, remember you want to try to get multiple with similar objectives. That way you can complete several simultaneously without having to ping-pong between activities and builds. And remember that you can claim and purchase more forge bounties anywhere, even mid-activity. So keep an eye out for when they pop up as completed. Ideally, you complete the highest rarity bounty that is achievable by you. Even though the legendary bounties require endgame activities, solo and newer players can still complete them. The Nightfall one will take around 3 advanced Nightfall completions, which is quick and easy for 2 of the 3 Nightfalls during this event. Trials one on the weekend requires only 7 round wins, and for the dungeon one, just focus on the easier earlier dungeons or quick encounters, so Shattered Throne, Pit of Heresy, or the first encounters of Spire or Warlords. If you have a team, then it opens up the possibility of the GM and raid bounties, like farming the first encounter of Last Wish. The reason you want to prioritize these legendary bounties is because they reward 50 alloy and guarantee both high stat armor and double perk event weapons. The other bounties only have a chance at armor and weapon drops. But since these bounties are rare, you might have to spend a bunch of silver leaves to keep refreshing that bounty slot. Instead of wasting leaves, you can complete an easier bounty to refresh the row, or just focus on those green bounties, especially the orb generation ones, rewarding 15 alloy and a common chance at armor and weapons. 150 orbs sounds like a lot, but that drops down to 50 if you match the subclass. For those that own the final shape, you can be on Prismatic to have the same benefit. To speed up the orb generation process, you want to put on as many generation sources as possible. elemental siphons on your helmet, firepower and heavy-handed on your arms, Reaper on your class item, and any fragment that can also spawn an orb of power. Remember, these sources have cooldowns, so you want to cycle between different generation methods. Use your class ability, get a double kill with your weapons, throw a grenade, then a melee, and repeat. The other rare bounty type tasks you to defeat targets that are affected by subclass abilities, and this can be tricky. This means affected by subclass verbs and debuffs, so suspend, slowed, volatile, etc. If an ability outright kills the enemy before they are affected by the debuff, it may not count. To make this easier, use high uptime weapons, non-lethal abilities, and exotics that can apply these effects. For Solar, that's Sunshot, Skyburner's Oath, and Incandescent weapons. Void, you have Collective Obligation, Gerfalcon's Halberd, and Destabilizing Rounds. Arc has Darcy, Queenbreaker, and Volt Shot. Strand has the Navigator, Wishkeeper, and Slice, and Stasis has Aegir Scepter, Winterbite, and Chill Clip. Now, let's talk about Silverleaf drop rates and best farms. Referring to optimal strategies of all rare or all legendary bounties, we can see the base cost is up to 10 or 25 respectively. Depending on RNG, you'll most likely need more leaves to refresh the available bounties, which is 5 leaves a refresh. On screen is an exhaustive list of Silverleaf drop rate sources. Do note that values will vary slightly. Additionally, Onslaught and Altars of Sorrow drop leaves differently. Onslaught has a chance to drop a leaf after any round. Altars of Sorrow will drop a couple after every wave with a big pile upon a full clear. Since time is also a factor, we need to account for that to determine the best farm. Since that value is highly variable due to the activity, RNG, and player, the values I have used are conservative estimates based on my experience over the years. If you go faster or slower, then plug in your times with the listed values. With the full picture, we see that the majority of activities are in this 0.4 to 0.8 leaves per minute area. For the most efficient farms, you have 3 great ones and 2 cheeses. To no surprise, speedrunning quick raid and dungeon encounters are very rewarding, and can be used to also complete Gold Forge bounties. For solo players and to complete those green bounties, Altars of Sorrow is equally efficient. Of course, you have the 2 popular cheeses that are making the rounds, which I will mention. These can be patched, as Bungie has done so in previous years, so don't bank on them sticking around. Those farms are completing solo private PvP matches with low score thresholds, or checkpoint farming the drop pod section of the Lightfall's first mission, First Contact. Both are available to all players. If farming silver leaves is your only goal, any of these options are efficient. However, based on the bounties you are trying to complete, farming for specifically silver leaves can be a waste of time. Those focusing on green bounties, so those that are solo or looking for a more casual experience, you can perpetually complete them by just running Nightfalls or Altars of Sorrow. The rate you use leaves will match the rate you earn them, especially since you aren't going to be refreshing bounties that often, since compatible green bounties have a higher chance than specific gold ones. If you don't care about being completely efficient, you can just run Bonfire Bash. You'll get event weapons and enough leaves for 3 green bounties. Hyper grinders, so those focusing on gold bounties, you'll have to stock up on silver leaves ahead of time and hope you get lucky with your bounty refreshes. So cheese away or just keep farming raids and dungeon encounters with your squad. Now, the efficacy of either approach is dependent on both bounty refresh RNG and loot RNG, so I can't tell you which is definitively better. For guaranteed loot, go the gold bounty approach. Test your luck and be casual, farm green bounties. It is also worth considering overall loot, so if you're chasing other things like brave arsenal weapons or upgrade materials, then Onslaught and Nightfalls are worthy options. Let's now discuss the loot. The unique draw of the Solstice event is the high stat armor you can get. Unfortunately, this year they changed the system. Previously, you could choose the stats of your armor piece, imbuing them with at least a guaranteed 20 in a stat. Pair that with a Ghost Armorer mod and you can guarantee the values of 3 stats on an armor piece. Now they are just high stat armor, meaning they'll range from 58 to 68 total stats and are more likely to be spiky. To have some control over what you get, make sure you slot in a Ghost Armorer mod to guarantee that stat to be high. Do note that these guaranteed high stat armor pieces only come from Forge bounty completions after you've unlocked that piece. It has no effect over the armor drops from Bonfire Bash. So to farm armor, prioritize those rare and legendary Forge bounties. As to if farming for high stat armor this way is worth it, that depends on you. Sources of high stat and spiky armor really depends on what DLC content you own and can run. I have a full breakdown video in the description if you are interested, but the short of it is, if you are new or returning to the game and you don't own Episode Echoes or the Final Shape, definitely try to snag high stat armor from Solstice. It's relatively easy and you'll get dozens of drops over the course of an hour. If you do own those DLCs or are a longtime player, then you probably don't need to focus on the armor grind. Spamming engrams at Failsafe or Ghost for high stat armor is super easy and always available. Besides high stat armor, you have event weapons to consider. These drop from Bonfire Bash anytime and completion of Forge bounties after you've unlocked the armor piece. When you unlock the full armor set on a character, those bounties, and only those bounties, will drop weapons with multiple perks in either or both columns. You're always guaranteed one column with double perks, getting both columns seems super rare. Chasing double perk weapons have their pros and cons. Pro, you are more likely to get what you want and you can walk away with 2 god rolls in one. Con, you have to complete bounties, which will dictate how and what you play, and they won't drop as frequently. For an efficient, good enough farm for all players, play Bonfire Bash while also doing Forge bounties. By focusing on only the easy bounties, like Elements of Defeats and Orbs of Power, you won't run into a Silver Leaf issue since those bounties are cheap, you'll earn enough from Bonfire Bash, you can most likely complete 5 bounties in a single run, and you won't be refreshing the available bounties. The drawback is that these double perk drops aren't guaranteed, so you'll only get a couple drops per run with this method. But you'll supplement your rolls with the normal weapon drops you get from Bonfire Bash, so getting your god roll should be efficient. Depending on your luck and skill, you might even complete more bounties in a single run. If that happens and you're running into a Silver Leaf issue, then look to quick farms I mentioned earlier. For endgame players, the most efficient weapon farms are re-rolling to get legendary bounties, those for raids, dungeons, or GMs. Due to the cost of those bounties and re-rolling, Silver Leaves will be an issue, as you won't get enough from the activity completions alone. Keep that in mind and stock up before you gather people to farm those bounties. Now the question is, are these weapons worth the hassle? I actually think so this year given their perk refreshes and how rare these archetypes of weapons are. For deep dives on these weapons, I'll leave some videos in the description, but if you want my opinion, here are my quick thoughts. Fortunate Star is a new weapon this year. Avoid Lightweight Bow with some pretty great PvE perks. Go with Hipfire Grip and Archer's Gambit for a well-rounded high DPS option, or take a more traditional approach like Archer's Tempo and Kill Clip. Honorable mention is Repulsor Brace for you Gerfalcon hunters. Next is something new, an aggressive Stasis Hand Cannon. Outside of bold endings, Stasis Hand Cannons are rare and difficult to acquire, so don't miss this one. Great perk options are Demolicious with Headstone or Frenzy for PvE, and then Elemental Capacitor and Kill Clip or Precision Instrument for PvP. Speaking of PvP, Compass Rose looks to be the next meta contender, going up against Matador 64, another precision frame shotgun. Top picks are Threat Detector or Slick Draw in column 3, with Opening Shot in column 4. For PvE, it's not a must grab, but Grave Robber 1-2 Punch will do fine. Lastly, we have Crowning Duologue, a Strand Precision Frame Rocket. Not the best archetype for boss DPS, but excellent for total damage and utility. Top picks are Air Trigger, for more reserves and quick reloads by just jumping in the air, and Reconstruction in column 3, with Bait and Switch or Bipod in column 4. Besides farming for armor and weapons, you have event challenges, which can be viewed in your quest menu or at Ava. Besides the very first one you complete in the tutorial, these are all optional. Unlike past solstices, you don't have to complete them to unlock armor. These are only for unique cosmetics, like an emblem and a ship, upgrade materials, and the Flamekeeper title. On screen is a list of all the challenges, their criteria, and what different point values certain methods are worth. If you want a TLDR cheat sheet of what to do to be the most optimal, I have you covered. That's 4 Bonfire Bashes, 10 Crucible or Gambit matches, 2 Heroic Blind Wells, 10 Vanguard Ops or 7 Nightfalls, and 5 Solstice Forge bounty refreshes. Just while you were doing this, make sure you were defeating enemies with supers, hand cannons, shotguns, bows, and rockets. This should take you roughly 4 hours and net you around 130 silver leaves, which you can use while doing these objectives to progress Forge bounties. Those that are looking to guild your title, you have 4 extra objectives. Complete a Bonfire Bash with at least 25 igniters deposited, don't die in a Bonfire Bash, unlock the White Glow for a full set of armor, and complete endgame activities while wearing a full set of glowing white armor. Nothing too terrible. Additionally, you have the upgraded event card if you want some special cosmetics. This will cost 1000 silver and is 100% optional. You do not need to buy this to participate in Solstice. It's just for these cosmetics on screen. Right away with your purchase, you'll unlock a unique shader, emote, and sparrow. To get the Ghost Shell, second emotes, Ghost Projection, and Transmat effect, you'll need to obtain and use event tickets, which you get from completing the event challenges. So before you buy, make sure you look over everything and see if it's worth it to you. Like previously discussed, the event challenges don't take too much time, so you can get everything for your silver purchase. You'll also have the colored glow versions of Solstice armor, both the new set as well as past year's ones. These can be bought with 1500 silver or 6000 bright dust, and they'll change colors based on your equipped subclass. If this is too expensive for you, but you like the look of the armor, remember you can farm high stat armor from the event, or use the armor synthesis system to turn them into armor ornaments. Do note, at this time, once you unlock the White Glow, that'll be the only option to turn into ornaments. This bug happens every year, so Bungie should eventually add the option to transmog the base armor look. Finally, you have the exclusive event Memento. You'll get a guaranteed drop of this after you unlock the White Glows for a full set of armor. If you don't see it drop directly into your loot feed when completing the quest, just check any crafted or enhanced weapons Memento socket. At this time, additional drops of the Memento are unknown or bugged. To decide if it's something you desire, inspect a weapon and preview the Solstice Keepsake shader, which will be near the start of the shader list. Now for the big question. Is Solstice worth the effort? It comes down to what you need, want, and what you own. While the high stat armor isn't as great as last year, it is still the best option for players that don't own Final Shape, Episode Echoes, or can reliably run Master Raids and Dungeons. Solstice is an excellent and easy farm to get spiky armor. Additionally, unlocking high stat armor is fairly quick and easy this time around, so long as you're completing higher rarity bounties. The catch is you now need to do it on all 3 characters, if that is something you care about. For veterans and new players alike, all the weapons have potential in all types of content, but only you can decide what you need. Me personally, this is the year I finally care about the weapons. Past events, I maybe kept a couple to throw in my vaults, only to never use them and shard them at a later date. Demo Frenzy on something new will easily make it into some of my builds, and we finally got a new Void Bow. And it's actually good. With that, may RNG bless you on your quest for God Roll loot. If you have any questions or want to discuss loot, feel free to do so in the comments. For my data on event info, I'll have a spreadsheet linked in the description and pinned comments, along with updates on bugs and drop rate info. If you found all of this helpful, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated, and come check out the Sundog Gaming Discord to make some new Guardian friends. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.